This is Mac OS Ken.
A strange, if true, iPhone story, a tool for tracking Pegasus, and Apple TV Plus does its first subtraction. It is Thursday, the 5th of August, 2021. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. Learn more and check your rate at upstart.com/macOSCan. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSCan. There was a story everywhere Wednesday that feels a little hinky. iMore cites a Nikkei Asia report that has Apple adding suppliers to meet incredibly robust iPhone demand. Not the first time we've heard that. That is not the hinky part. Quoting the Nikkei report, Chinese electronics maker Luxshare Precision Industry will build up to 3% of the upcoming iPhone 13 series, winning orders away from Taiwanese rivals Foxconn and Pegatron, Nikkei Asia has learned. Apple is slated to produce between 90 million and 95 million of the new phones through January. If you're looking for warm fuzzies, there they are. Apple may be looking to make as many as 95 million iPhone 13s for that phone's initial launch. But there is weirdness in this story. There's been talk for a while now of Apple diversifying its supply chain, trying to pull some manufacturing out of China. Luxshare is in China, so not the kind of diversification one might expect. Additionally, to this point anyway, Foxconn makes new models of iPhone. In the past, if Apple has needed extra capacity, it's brought new companies on to make older models, not new ones. Maybe things have changed. Maybe Nikkei is wrong. If they have changed, and if Nikkei is not wrong, iMore thinks the story could be good news for consumers because it reduces the likelihood that the iPhone 13 supply will be constrained, reducing shipping lead times and delays to orders. If things have changed, and if Nikkei's not wrong. How's Apple's HomePod line doing? It's almost like it's not even there. That's the latest from Consumer Intelligence Research Partners, or CIRP. The market tracker issued a press release Wednesday analyzing the smart speaker market in the U.S., including Amazon Echo, Google's Nest and Home products, and Apple HomePod devices of all models. According to the release, Amazon continues to dominate, with Google slowing and Apple largely absent. See, I don't think that's fair. They've discontinued HomePod in favor of HomePod Mini. I think you'd have to say they are smallly absent. CIRP indicates that Amazon's early entry into the market, constant promotion, and wider price range have stood it in good stead. Among manufacturers, the firm says Amazon has the dominant share of the installed base, with a 2/3 share through this past June. Most of the rest goes to Google, about 1/4, according to CIRP, with Apple and Facebook divvying up what little remains. For what it's worth, it looks on the CIRP chart as if Apple has 2 to 3 times what Facebook has. Still, they're dividing roughly 9%, according to the firm. From the speaker on your table, or not, according to CIRP, the speakers you shove in your ears. The second AirPods Pro firmware beta is out to testers. A piece from Mac Rumor says it's actually been in the testers' heads since last Friday. No one knew until now, though, likely because it's not available to the public. Only registered developers are able to install the AirPods Pro firmware, according to the report, and the installation process is rather complicated and requires Xcode. The work continues, though. According to a post on Reddit, beta number 2 adds support for Conversation Boost, Announced at WWDC, MacRumors says Conversation Boost uses the beam-forming microphones in the AirPods Pro to boost the volume level of conversations, which is ideal for those with mild to moderate hearing challenges. The feature joins ambient noise reduction and support for FaceTime spatial audio. Also announced at WWDC, those features were featured in the first firmware beta released in July. Are you worried that you've been targeted by NSO Group's Pegasus spyware? I would be willing to bet you have not been. That said, if you want more than just my gut feeling to go on, iMazing may have a tool for you. Apple Insider says the file transfer folks have added a free feature that should find signs of Pegasus. According to the report, in version 2.14 of iMazing, the company has added a new spyware detector tool that's inspired by the mobile verification toolkit created by Amnesty International. The spyware detector feature examines a new or existing iPhone and iPad backup on a user's Mac or PC. It then issues a report that allows a user to examine the device for Pegasus tracks. Interestingly, the free feature really is free. While one does have to download the latest version of iMazing, Apple Insider says the feature is built into the platform and doesn't require purchasing a license. iMazing points out that this tool doesn't stop a Pegasus infection according to the report. It will only detect it. It also doesn't work for jailbroken devices. You can find out more on the company's blog at iMazing.com. Would you buy an AirTag just to throw it away? A lawyer in Portland, Oregon probably hoped that wasn't what he was doing. It turns out he was, though. Apple Insider cites a story from the Portland Tribune. Michael Fuller is the lawyer in question. Recently, he's heard reports of homeless people having their belongings thrown away by people who aren't supposed to do that. Folks were recently rousted out of Laurelhurst Park. When that happens, the city's supposed to hold on to their things. According to Apple Insider, the city is required under Oregon state law to retain property that is recognizable as belonging to a person and that has apparent use when conducting such sweeps. Fuller says the city is supposed to keep the stuff for 30 days, and yet, once city contractor Rapid Response BioClean did its thing, a couple of the possessions turned up at the dump. Fuller knows this because those two things, and 14 others, had AirTags attached to them by Fuller. Due to the tracking technology, says the attorney, we have proof positive that Rapid Response broke the law and took property that was perfectly clean and sanitary and belonged to homeless people and took them to the dump. Fuller says he'll keep hiding AirTags on such property to keep the city accountable. He also says he plans to take legal action against the city if it's unable to offer a reasonable explanation for the apparent dumping. TV Plus talk just ahead, but first a word from Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. Keeping up with your credit card payments is great. Getting ahead of them would be better. Upstart can help. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 500,000 people have used Upstart to get a simple, fixed monthly payment. Upstart looks at more than your credit score, factoring in income and employment history. So you may be able to take those high-interest payments you're making a few places and turn them into one simple payment with lower interest. With a 5-minute rate check, you can see your rate up front for loans between $1,000 to $50,000, and you can receive your funds as fast as 1 business day after accepting your loan. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/macOSKen. UPSTART. That's upstart.com/ macOS Ken. Don't forget to use my URL to let them know I sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/macOSCan. Flipping on the Phantom Zone, word of a renewal, a cancellation, and a tease for Apple TV Plus. Making a return trip? Physical. Apple issued a press release Wednesday saying that the Rose-Byrne dramedy set in the 80s has been picked up for a second season. You may wonder whether Apple TV Plus ever cancels anything. It does now. Apple Insider ran a piece Wednesday saying the Cupertino streamer has silenced Little Voice. The songwriting drama produced by J.J. Abrams and Sarah Bareilles is notable for a couple of reasons. One, it was one of the shows highlighted when Apple announced Apple TV Plus in early 2019. And two, it is the first Apple TV Plus series to be cancelled, according to Apple Insider. A show I am personally looking forward to got a first look on Wednesday. Apple posted a talkative teaser for the half-hour comedy Mr. Corman. Produced for Apple TV Plus by A24, the company says Mr. Corman is created by, directed by, and executive produced by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He also stars in it, in case you're wondering. Ted Lasso's Juno Temple co-stars, along with Deborah Winger. It's a quick turnaround on this one. Mr. Corman starts its run tomorrow, Friday the 6th of August, on Apple TV Plus. You can catch the first look now on YouTube. And finally today, with the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks this year, Apple's got an interesting film planned for Apple TV Plus. While we had already heard about the streamer's planned documentary, Apple issued a press release Wednesday announcing a filmed version of the Broadway musical Come From Away. According to the release, Come From Away tells the story of 7,000 people stranded in the small town of Gander, Newfoundland, after all flights into the U.S. are grounded on September 11th, 2001. As the people of Newfoundland graciously welcome the Come From Aways into their community in the aftermath, the passengers and locals alike process what's happened while finding love, laughter, and new hope in the unlikely and lasting bonds they forge. The Tony and Olivier award-winning show is directed by Christopher Ashley, director of the original Broadway production. A number of the show's original cast also reprise their roles. Come From Away premieres on Apple TV Plus on Friday, the 10th of September. Coming up in a few minutes, let's talk Apple host Bart Busschots likes a world where Apple is in China more than a world where it's not. Not that anybody said anything about Apple leaving China. Lively conversation when we consider the hornet's nest dipped in oil that you have to hug. The show is called In a Few Minutes. Look for it and listen on macosken.com or wherever you get podcasts. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. Learn more and check your rate at upstart.com/macOSCan. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSCan. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.